Hej, välkomna. Nice to see you all. So, Crossroads, for me that is, you end up somewhere and you can choose different paths. And for me it's important to have an idea where you want to end up. Because you're going to end up somewhere, of course. And this short passage from Alice in Wonderland is beautiful. Like, if you're going to ask for the way, and then where you want to go, I don't know where I want to go, then you can take any path at all. And you can end up somewhere. And you can end up there like an active person in this happening, or as a passenger in what's happening around you. And I think we should be more sort of engaged in the path that we choose, so we end up where we want to end up. This is where I think we are standing right now. This is our crossroad right now. And this is not really the world that I sort of are proud of or feel comfortable in. But we have made choices before that put us here. And I would say that we can say that we are at a crossroad right now, and we can sort of choose other paths than this. Because we are in a speed, we're coming into this crossroad with a speed which means that if we don't sort of step on the brakes and start to think a little bit, we're going to continue on the same road, and it's going to be maybe even worse. So this is what I want to sort of say, this is history, and we're going to do something new. And playfulness is what I think is the thing that we need for that new path. It will also give us something, a goal that we want to strive for. Jonaz is my name. I decided not to talk about stuff that is on my CV. Instead, you see, I'm quite old. Yeah. So this is when I'm 15 years old. I think this is 82 or 83. And we didn't carry around, cameras all the time, so we don't have many pictures of ourselves when we were young. This is me in the Scouts. We're having this gingerbread baking event that we had annually. And yeah, you can see the action going on there. Not only building those houses. This was an event that took place every year. We were about 50, 60 people, 15 to 19 years old. And I already started to arrange playful activities by then. Because I found something in playfulness, sort of a community, a respect. We had fun together. We discovered new things together in a really nice way. And I sort of have kept it ever since. And from time to time, I've been able to also express it and do playfulness. Not always, but I try to do it. This is 1986. I'm sitting here in an overall that I got from my friends. And this fills me with happiness and joy when I see it. Because on the back, they printed my name. And on the back it says Certified Play Dad. So when I was 18 years old, I got this recognition from my friends, and sort of I kept it with me ever since. So I really like it. Now, as growing up in the 80s, I was quite... I had a hard time. I was afraid of the state of the world. We had this nuclear war threat. It was the Cold War, and I was really afraid of it. So each day was like, oh, I hope everything will go well. And it actually didn't end until 89, when the Berlin Wall fell, and then the Soviet imploded. So I said, this is a stupid secret, but usually 4-digit codes, for me it's 1989, because that's the best year ever, I think. And it was good, and then, yeah. And here I also got this engagement in sort of keeping what's precious to us. And it's this space rock that we have, and the life on it. And yes, maybe we can see that there are algae on other planets right now. That's in the press, these new discoveries. But still, we are on a slightly higher level, I hope, than Algiers. And I think we have an obligation to care for it, really. And I don't think we do that today. So I'm going to talk here, because talking about playfulness is kind of boring. We should do things. But I'm going to lecture a little bit about playfulness. So I don't know, you maybe have this feeling. This is also everywhere. We're going to find playfulness when we just start looking for it. Peppers with googly eyes. There are websites full of them. This is an interest for people. Just love it. Playfulness could be important in many different ways. You could use playfulness also, like here, to sort of criticize things, to criticize oppression. All around, many of you, maybe they're not Swedes, from other cultures, other countries, know that people have been using art, songs, writings, which are actually playful expressions, to sort of put the finger off what's wrong and also suggests alternatives. Now today, those leaders that we have, they have this idea that everything, life and Earth society is a zero-sum game. I don't think so. I think there's a possibility to have a win-win situation, but then we need to sort of, look at how we think and what we want. I love this phrase. Looking at the internet, it says it's a Greek proverb. It's not, because I'm also educated in history and looking at fact and stuff. This is not, but it's a great say. Society grows great when old men plant trees, in whose shade they shall never sit. So we can do things for someone else and also for ourselves feel satisfaction for it, even though they don't say thank you to us. And in a playful environment, this is nothing strange. We do this all the time. We plant seeds and see what happens, now or later on, here or somewhere else. But we do it for each other. It's a big community. I have no idea if I'm saying what I'm supposed to say to these pictures, but yeah, okay. So, and we understand this, I think, when we are kids, when we grow up. We have this, we understand this, that we are here together and we compromise and we do things together. And then, suddenly, da-da-da-dum, this happens. This last blanket fort that we build. So this is supposed to give this feeling of, oh, so one day we built our last blanket fort and you feel like violins, okay? Or we played with our stuffed animals and put them away for the last time. Or we went up on the snowy hills for the last time and åker pulka, as we say in Swedish, go sledging. We don't realize that this time is the last time, of course, because we have plans for tomorrow, but something else happens, and that is that we grow up. Yeah? So today we can sit and look back and get, I think most of us get a longing for this, kind of good feelings, oh I wish, oh that was happy, or just one more time, I wish I would have done it. But what happens here is that we grow up, and when we grow up we also leave all the possibilities, the opportunities that lay in playfulness. These imaginary possibilities that are not, they are not imaginary, the possibilities are real, but you do it in your imagination and you try things out. And there's a lot of learning going on in here, and we try out learning and we learn from each other, but when we grow up we sort of adjust into school systems, in educational systems, how is me? How we are supposed to function there. And then we go further on and get a job and a workplace, and there are certain rules and stuff. And there we start to be afraid of suggesting things that might not be perfect. We don't want to make fool of ourselves, we don't want to say the wrong thing, we don't want to ask the stupid questions that you can do here. Because we are grown up and this is another system. But this hasn't disappeared, it's just that we sort of locked it in. We put it away, but we still carry it around. And one guy that really saw this was Keith Johnston, who said this: no one of us really grow up, all we ever do is learn how to behave in public. And I think, yeah, that's what we're doing. And this guy, he was a theater teacher, and he invented amongst all the theater sports, where you do improv of a scene, you have no idea what's going on, and the audience are just cheering and having a good time. And I think that is something that we have as adults, really. We are kind of superheroes. Now think not the Marvel superheroes, but the DC superheroes. All the nerds here know the difference between them, yeah? So in the DC superhero world, we have Batman and Superman and Green Arrow and whatever the names are in English, because I learned them in Swedish. And they have two identities. They have the superhero identity and they have their hidden identity. Okay? And Superman, he's Superman, that's his superpower, that is who he is. And then when he don't want to be seen as Superman, he goes boring and he goes Clark Kent, yeah? And we are all Superman, but we dress up as Clark Kent and we walk around like this. But we can do like Clark Kent, just go into a phone booth which we don't have, so everybody is still looking at the phone, so you can, whenever, just undress. Nobody will notice, and become the superhero and do things, yeah? Like this, a few years ago, down in the canal, I was walking and suddenly these three kayaks came. There's Santa Claus, there's one of his nissar, what was that? Elves, yeah, and there's a reindeer, yeah. And they were just paddling. And why? I don't know, but they did. And people standing around and looking. It was amazing, yeah. That is adult playfulness. They don't earn anything, but they do it and they give us something, and they give me something, and a picture, now I give it to you. This is the mooning gargoyle, yeah? It's from 1230. So the story here is, I don't know, I haven't spoken to him, but the story is this was a stonemason and he wasn't happy about the money he got for the work on the cathedral. So one of the last pieces he did was this one, and it's aiming at the city hall. This is also playfulness. And it's timeless, and we can recognize ourselves in it. This is Glasgow. This is the Duke of Wellington. And the statue has been there for 180 years, celebrating the defeat of Napoleon. And in the 80s, some night owls, for some reason, because we do crazy stuff when we become playful, could be under alcohol, but it also could be sober as this, decided he needs a traffic cone on his head. Yeah. So up with it. And for 40 years, the city has tried to get people to stop putting traffic cones on his head, but with no big success. Yeah? So they continue. Even the horse gets cones from time to time. And today it sort of have evolved. So now it could also have symbolism, like this against Brexit, or here, as support for Ukraine. So the playfulness that we have as adults could also have a purpose, a meaning, aiming at someone. It's not just something you do random. It could start with that, but after a while you sort of find things and then you go with that. So play and playfulness, and I think this is important, it's not exactly the same thing. Play is what we see here. That is something that is going on. That is sort of the activity. That is play. And when we look at this, we're going to say, yeah, that looks fine, or childish, or immature, or exciting, or whatever. So we look at that and we judge it. What we see is what is going on in their heads. What makes the play possible. And that is playfulness, and that is the mindset. And I think as adults, we can talk about the mindset, and we should talk about the mindset. Because you can't really look at a person if they are playful or not. Then they have to act it out for you to judge it or see it. But we can all be very playful, even when we sit with that one. I don't think we are very playful, but could be. So when we use the mindset and we think of what's going on here, then it's also when we can learn things of what we do, why we do this, and we can also develop, we can also go further. So we can use the playfulness as a tool, as a step to go further. And I'm going to give you a few examples of playfulness from different situations where I've been involved. This was at one workplace. We had this really ugly hat, crab hat or crayfish or something. So our rule was, if you've done a mistake, something bad, something that needs to be, I don't know, fixed or whatever, put on that hat. Because if you enter a meeting room with that hat, yeah, you don't start yell at that person. He or she is already laying down. Instead, the entire group immediately started, okay, so what happened? We get curious. What can we do? And we want to help them out. There's no one hiding anything. It's just like, okay, so you're in a mess, what can we do for you? And in this case, it was quite easy. It was a permanent marker on a whiteboard. So, yeah. At one workplace, together with 2 colleagues, we were looking really nice there, we invited, this was in a municipality, we invited everyone at every second Friday on 30 minutes lunch improv session, just open. For 30 minutes you can do 3 things. You can do a warm-up, a game, and maybe a scene. And it started with a really small group, and it continued, and it grew, and in the end we had everyone wanting to join, not at the same time, but from cleaners to the director of the municipality could just drop by. And also people started to book the meetings in the same buildings where we were, so they were able to access this after or before lunch in combination with the meeting. And it actually was also in årsredovisning, yeah, when they were summarizing the year. Annual report, yeah, thank you. So they put up this as an effort for the employees' well-being. So it was recognized, officially recognized, which was nice. Pandemic shut it down, though. This was another workplace where I was, and here I managed to engage about 150 colleagues for a few hours in a big, just chaotic game. I'm not sure I was aware myself what I was doing, and definitely not when we started, so it was just chaos for a couple of few hours, and people were dancing, building, drawing, singing, and making things. But when I see it, I also get this happy feeling, because I remember these hours, and everybody was so generous and giving themselves, just like, yeah, we make fools of ourselves and we laugh at it and we have fun. And actually I got them to take photos of themselves doing strange stuff and sending it to me. So they also gave me the material for this. And when we did this, there were a few that said, no, I cannot take part of this. It's not serious, can't do this. And they were, I want to work instead. And so I said, okay, can't force anyone to do it. But afterwards they come asking, are we going to do this again? Yeah, and some guys need to stand aside and watch 1 or 2, 3 times until they feel like, yeah, I want to participate. And if you're playful, you're going to say, yeah, welcome. Not, you should have come last time. Then you say, oh, happy that you want to be with us today. Welcome. And then we start from there. This is another kind of playfulness. It was at one workplace. At Christmas, I used to put this up inside the toilet doors. It's small affirmations, like give away Christmas presents for free and tell people that you like them. And since I did this for a couple of years, I also realized which one worked and which one didn't, so I adjusted them. And this was, as you see, this is the best of. This was going away as well. And it says something here. Your wise reflections always makes me come one step further. So nothing big really, but to take one of these and give it to a colleague as like a secret Santa, or I want to and be open with it. they enjoyed it. And visitors in the building also wanted copies of this to put up at their workplaces. So I think he got a little bit fuss. So that was nice. Now, doing this requires something. Playfulness amongst adults don't just happen. We need to make it happen. This is something that starts to be more and more common when we go to the cinema. We dress up and sort of be part of the full experience. And today, this is nothing unusual. It's also like if you go to cinema, we are that old, we know what cinema is, and sometimes we go. If you see someone else dressed up, you think like, oh, I should have dressed up. Yeah, but next time. And if you do, you're probably not alone in there. And this is something that we should bring in all environments. Like on a workplace, if there's Halloween and we want to have this costume thing going on, you cannot just put a diadem with some ears. Then I have to go all in as well and meet everyone. And I have to do this maybe 1, 2, 3 times. And then people start the next time to look like this themselves because they know they are not going to be alone. I may be alone the first time, but still, yeah, and I think, yeah, but then maybe I get paid for it, I don't know. So, but what I do is, I give them permission to sort of unlock this playfulness that they have in themselves, that we all have in ourselves. But playfulness could be like anything that sort of, in a way, goes against what is the ordinary and the expected. This is also a workplace. In this case, 2 times we did this. We went up, first one in the building, and then we greeted everybody, welcome to work, with a handshake or a hug if they wanted, and let's have a candy, and yeah, I mean, you go there, you maybe had a bad morning or something, and someone says, oh, wonderful that you are here at work today. We'd love to see you. Welcome. Hope this day will be wonderful. And they talked about this for weeks afterwards. This short, I sort of invest energy for 3 hours, and I get something back for 3 weeks or longer. People like this. And also it spreads a little bit. It spreads a little bit, so in the different offices in the building, maybe you start to say, oh, nice to see you this morning. So the behavior could spread. This is also playfulness. This about saving the world. I'm not sort of comfortable really going in demonstrations and shouting stuff and having lots of placards and things, banners. I think that's a little bit dividing people. As you saw, I was a scout, and I think that life is precious, and I want to sort of, you know, I want to keep this place as good as possible for coming generations, all creatures. So I'm engaged in the climate environment. And then in 2018, on TV, they were showing movies from London. They sort of shut down the city centre of London for a couple of days. And what I saw there was this playful expression. It was theatre, it was colours, it was jokes, they had fun. And I think that, yeah, I can do that. Like the old Ultravox song. You're so old, so I give this old reference, like dancing with tears in my eyes. Yeah? Yes. You can do that. So this is me when I do climate activism. I put something together, we make up a story, and then we go out on the streets and we have some street theater. And what happens here is that people, instead of, if you look at the demonstration, you're going to feel like me and them, and there's a distance between us. But looking like this is, oh, what's going on here? I want to talk to you, I'm get curious, and then we get a meeting and a conversation, and it's much easier to talk to someone that is playful than someone that stands there with a banner, even though they are saying the same thing. So this brings us into a meeting, and this guy was on the invitation for today's speak, and that's a ringmaster of the quite weird circus that we had last summer at Kungsbordstorget. And these are figures that could be seen on TV from all around the world, because this is global. We share everything with each other. This is another form of playfulness that I discovered quite recently. I got certified in Lego serious play. And Lego is seen as a toy. But here we have a method that uses this toy as a tool. And just a few days ago, I had a workshop, and one of the high directors said that he was a little bit like, I don't know if this feels good. I mean, sitting at work and playing with Lego, how serious could it be? But afterwards he said, I didn't really reflect that we were working on Lego, because the method, the issues, the questions, the things that we talked about was dead serious. But the Lego made it possible suddenly to see things that we haven't seen before, and talk in a way that we haven't talked before. And what Lego does is, and something that we do in play, is it invites everybody to talk at the same time, so everybody could express themselves, which means that we all see that we are important. No one is not important. We're all important, and we all have valuable insights, reflections, perspectives that needs to come up. And we can invite people during playful events to say this, to do this. Then we can do the evaluation afterwards. But now we are in this mood, and then everything is okay. So playfulness. I think we can save it, the world with playfulness, or at least make it better. So I made this fluffy. This is fluff. And the unicorns. So this is what I think that playfulness does. When we play, we learn a lot. We train, we practice a lot. Like these are called the 6 C's. We collaborate with each other, of course, and we also have to compromise. Other things will stop. We need to communicate in many different ways, not only with words, but with body, with feelings, emotions, content. We have to really discuss what we are doing, why we are doing this, what it's supposed, what it's aiming for, and whatever. The critical thinking is there. Is it possible? Is it not possible? Why should this not be possible? Let's try it and see what happens. What is our restrictions? Creativity. Yeah, creativity. Nothing is impossible in play, and also the confidence to fail. Maybe we don't fail. Maybe we don't. Okay, so this is one way that maybe worked or didn't work, or maybe it could work there but not work there, or maybe the time isn't mature or whatever. But nothing is actually fails when we play. It's learning. And I think that playfulness is not only a mindset, it's a competence, and it's a competence that should be equal with creativity and the ability to act and communicate and stuff. But we don't recognize it really as that. Because on this we build a lot of other things that is important for us. We build trust. The best way to build trust is to play with each other. And we also established the foundation here for the psychological safety. So this we talk about, I'm afraid when I go into environment, if you have played with people, if you laughed with the people, you've seen them, and they don't have this facade in front of you, you're safe. Because we want the well for each other. We have a deeper problem solving, we go around, we don't take the first sort of solutions, we try on, we go on, we play with it. Resilience, it means that we have many different ways to act when something happens. At the workplace, it also, and this is researched, sick leave is reduced because you're sort of. I said something wrong, I think. Yeah, or maybe this was the last Creative Morning. I said it all. Just take down it and okay. Yeah. So I think it says that. Oh, you're going over time now. So, okay, so yeah. So let's conclude this. I got the message. Playfulness is possible for us as adults. I think we should play a lot more. I think that if we play, it means that we're going to make another choice here at the crossroad where we are. We're going to sort of decide a path that is more lovingful, respectful. We work together, and we work together also for the benefit for others, not just for ourselves. Some of you that are in here are actually on these pictures. I don't know if you've seen yourself. And I'm going to end up with this picture. This is from one of the sessions where we were looking at what could a nice, sustainable, fair future look like. And we're also looking at, are there things today that we could sort of scale up that will lead us to this? And even if you weren't there at the time, I think that just seeing this, you feel, I want to participate in building something like this and talking about it because it looks nice. Yeah. Okay, 32 minutes. Yeah, that was it.